And welcome back to Let's Play Overlord. In the last video we saved Rose, and now all of the tower is open. So over here is the entrance to the living quarters.
Ah, there you are. This place isn't what I'm normally used to, but one has to make the best of things, I suppose. Let me show you around. Not much to look at here, but nothing that a really good dust wouldn't cure. Now this could be a great space. A bedroom, a banqueting area, even your own private interrogation room.
Not quite sure why she says that about what's basically just the hallway.
I think that this area would make an adorable treasure vault. I think the lighting would set off your riches wonderfully. You do have riches, don't you?
And the more gold you collect, the more gold you will see there in that room, so the pile in there will get bigger as we go.
Now this is the nerve center of your evil domain. I've created a scale model of your tower out of bits and bobs I found lying around. I'm very resourceful.
So this is where you can customize the tower. You can buy all sorts of little aesthetic upgrades. And we'll eventually probably get all of them, but for now I'm going to save the gold. It's more important to have it for the equipment that will actually affect gameplay. And for some reason she stops the tour there. There are two other little rooms up here. On this side of the hall there's an empty room. We will fill it up with some stuff though, with some of those upgrades that we can buy. And on the other side of the hall, we have the bedroom. There's not really much to be done here except for one cutscene that will come much later in the game. So now we'll go back down to the throne room.
Most wise master! Ah, the forge, sire! This place has brought forth weapons that could slay troll kings, and armor that could stop a dragon's breath. Giblet has been promoted to forge master. He will show you around. The smelter is heating, sire. Please follow Giblet to the forge chamber.
So here is where we have the ability to forge. For right now, we only have the steel smelter.
Here you can forge new items and upgrade existing ones. You can create 3 types of items: weapons, helmets, and armor.
I am going to go ahead and switch to the sword.
This is where you can
I do think the sword is the most effective weapon type in my opinion.
You have in your forge.
The real advantage to the heavier weapons is that you can have some knockback or knockdown. But the strongest enemies, the ones that you really are concerned with at all, are immune to knockdown and knockback anyway, so I prefer the speed of the sword. And here's where we'll choose which material we're using. Steel's the only one we can do.
Be used to imbue items. The more you sacrifice, the more powerful the item. Cost and the maximum number of minions you can sacrifice are determined by item and material type. Don't get too carried away, sire. Remember, minions are your deadliest weapons, so don't leave home without them.
You can sacrifice minions to imbue all 3 different items. For your weapon, brown minions just increase the damage. Red minions increase the damage, but it's specifically fire damage they add. Green will give you a chance for critical strikes. And blue will give you the ability to knock back enemies. For now, though, I'm not going to use up any life force.
Your item is ready to be forged, master.
So we're going to create a standard steel sword.
This This is your armory, sire, where you can store your armor and weapons.
So here is the armory. Here you can actually see all of the different armors and weapons that you have and change between them. We're also going to be able to use it to see what each of the minion types do for armor and helmet. For armor, the browns will just increase your defense. Blue ones will increase your maximum amount of mana. Or maybe that's the red, actually, I think. I think the red gives max mana. Greens will give you a regeneration, which is actually very useful. And blues will increase your maximum health. For helmets, it does not matter which type of minion you sacrifice. All of them increase your minion cap. It's a very useful upgrade, but until we're using the best material type, I'm not going to use any minions for it.
Harvester of life force.
And an odd thing is that when you rescue Rose from the castle, it gives you a mission to find an entrance to Heaven's Peak. But it also gives you a teleport to Heaven's Peak.
The slime, the stagnant odor, the festering corpses. It's all so homely. You'll see that the city of Heaven's Peak dominates these swamp-laden lands, my lord. Within it, the great citadel of Angelus Keep squats like a fly on a dung pile.
So you can just immediately teleport to it, and that mission is completed. And now it will always be on our list as a place we can teleport to. Because before, I think I said that it only kept up with the one place you had most recently teleported from, but there are key ones, like the beginning of each of the major zones, that it will always keep on the list. Instead of continuing on through Heaven's Peak, though, we're going to go over to Evernight Forest. It's actually the next area that you're meant to go into, I think. It's also definitely the easier of those two areas. I don't think that there's much that we could even accomplish in Heaven's Peak at this point. The biggest first main storyline piece thing you have to do there, you do have to have another minion type for. I think we could collect... I can think of at least one tower object. Maybe there would be a second one, but that's pretty much I think all we could do. Instead, we're going to go over into the area where we heard the peasants talking about the roots that were overgrowing an area and that the forest was acting unnatural.
These roots? Oh, I've never seen anything like it.
In here we will find the entrance to the forest. But you did have to wait until you had the reds at least to get in, because you had to be able to deal with this fire.
You choose all!
This is where we will stop for the day. Next time, we will begin exploring Evernight Forest.
Evernight Forest was once filled with elven magic. Creature and plant existed harmoniously amid leafy canopies and sun-dappled pools. Now, it is dank, dark, corrupted. Ooh, I like what they've done with the place.
See you next time.